Good day, class. In this lecture video, we will be talking about arguments. So what is an argument? An argument is an assertion that a given set of proposition, for example, P sub 1 to P sub n, called premises, yields or has a consequences of another proposition Q. This proposition Q is called a conclusion. Okay? Such an argument can be denoted this way, or ano pa na sila, independe sa reference book na inyong gibasihan. But on our reference book, basically kani usually ang ginagamit og kana. Okay, so what does this means? So it means na ang argument is basically given daghang proposition na siya na-yield na conclusion, which is a single proposition Q. Ana ra siya. So from this proposition natin na-yield na another proposition or a conclusion. Tawag nila ana. Okay. So we have what you call the valid argument and the fallacy. If valid ang atong argument, then we say that katotohanan proposition, no, and its conclusion should be true. Should always be true. Wa nay lain. If this is true, tapos na ay ang atong Q is atay true or kung false ani nga value, then that is not a valid argument anymore. That is called the fallacy na. Fallacy is actually is a proposition that is not valid, no, or an argument that is not valid. It means na ay false diri somewhere or na ay false diri somewhere. Again, a valid argument only contains true values. Matawag na to na siya nga tautology. Note, if tautology ni kaning whole na statement is a tautology, then we can say that it is valid. Okay, so you might be confused. So here is an example. So let's consider this argument and see if this is a valid argument or not. It says here that P, we have the P proposition, and also the if P then Q proposition. So we have, it concludes that it is Q. So if P and P, we can actually read the comma as end. So if we have P and P, and if P then Q, then we will have Q. Okay, so if, atro na ko basa, if P and if P then Q, then we can conclude Q. Okay? So, unsa na to pagkabalo if this whole argument is a proposition. So, let's see if this is a valid argument or not. So, the very easy way to do this is to construct a truth table. Okay? So, ato ning tanawon ng mga values ani tanan. So, first, we have tanaw sa nato unsang mga single propositions that we have. So, we have P and we have Q involved in this argument. So, ato na siyang i-plot sa ato ang truth table, and then we will ato pong i-plot ang ilang mga possible na mga combinations sa duha ka proposition. So, we have P, true, true, false, false, and Q, TF, TF. So, muna ni siya ang probable na mga combination sa atong duha ka propositions, di ba? Now, let's see the value or the truth value of if P then Q. So, we have here TF, TT. So, again, ma-false na sa implication if CQ is false. So, here, mura niya nga itong kaisa-isahang false na truth value. Now um let's see now if this is a valid proposition or not. So atong buhaton basically is just ipalas na to og butang ang ato ang conclusion. Last siya nga row always. No? So we have here, muna siya ang last. Then, pwede rin ni sila actually mag-interchange. Kaning duha. So, si P and if P then Q. So, pwede raw ang imong ibutang diri is P, unya ang naa diri si if P then Q. Okay, pwede na sila magbali-bali. As long as ang ato ang kaning-kani, ang atong conclusion should be at the last row of our truth table. Okay? So, okay, so nakita nato dire, kung tanawon nato, no, unsa nato pagkabalo nga this is a valid argument if kani tanan is true. Okay? True. True tanan walay nasagol na false. So, as you can see, pinakauna pa lang, P then Q is true, P is true, Q is true. So, natay combination, ani tanan wherein true sila tanan. So, no problem. No. So, makayong natataog valid. No, dili pa. We must find out kung napabay true and true dire pero false ang nagawas dire. So, kung tanaw na to, this is FT, this is TF, and this is TF. So, wala na laing TT dire, no? Wala na. So, sa hato pa, this is a valid argument. Again, tro na ko pag-explain. We need to find the row, no? Or the column, or the row that is puros true ang ato ang value. If, for example, nakakuha ta og true, pero ang nigawa sa pinaka-last is false, that is not a valid argument anymore. Okay, so in this case, since naman tay duha ka true dire, naman puros man ni true, and wala may lain diri nga nagsagunson ang true wherein ang last ra ang false, so makaingon ta nga this is a valid argument. Okay, next example is showing what a fallacy looks like. So here we see that if P then Q and Q then P. Okay? So let's determine if this is a valid argument or not. Again, atong gipang plot ang ilang mga possible na combination, si P ug si Q, P then Q, Q, and as you can see, ang pinaka-last nato sa atong column is the value of P. Since siyam na itong conclusion. So, siya itong pinakalas diya ibutang. Okay, now let's see if this is a valid argument or not. Kung tanaw natin yung pinakauna, ma'am, this is a valid argument kay puro siya true. Now, patron ako pag-explain. Mangita mo og kanira pod na part, kanilang part ha, kana siya. Apil ni siya. Okay? Mangita ta og ano ninyo apila og evaluate ning kani kay basihan naman ninyo sa inyong P ug Q. So, kani ang inyong basihan. So, kani actually P and Q, kana Q, kana, and P, kana. Okay. So, ato ning tan-awon, no? This one, puro siya true. So, makaingon ta, ma'am, this is already a valid argument. No. Now, look closely. Unsa nga part ang nakafalya si aning argument. Next, tanan na to ang next nga row. We have false, false, true. No problem. So, wala man ta nagkuha na. Ang atong pangitawan is kung kaning duha is true, tapos kanina false. As you can see, naa siya diri. No? Kaning duha, nahimog true, pero ang iyang conclusion false. Now, that's what makes the argument a fallacy. That is, given these premises, muning premises ha, true tanan, pero ang igawas na conclusion is false. So, this is a fallacy. Though naa siya truth value wherein this is true and this is true, though naa na nga na value, ma-disregard ra gihapon na siya since nakakita man ta og premises nga true pero ang conclusion is false using this same argument. Okay, so muna siya ang nakatawag, muna siya ang reason why this argument is now a fallacy. Okay, so here is this theorem is what you should keep in mind always. So the argument P1, P2, Pn with conclusion Q is valid if and only if this one is true. Okay? And this one is true. So meaning is a tautology. Kung kani siya nga kani nga argument or propositions is true or a tautology, then usara siya matawag na valid na argument. Okay? This, we cannot say that this is a tautology since naman tay duha lagi ka true sa atong argument, P, Q, and Q, pero naman tay conclusion na false. Unlike kani, tanaw na to, sa itong duha ka argument, what na lain na true ang atong mga premises, di ba? So FTT, FTF, walay TT diri lain nakita kanira, and its conclusion is true pud. So sa ato pa this is a valid argument. Another example is representing the what you call the law of syllogism. So the law of syllogism is represented this way. If we have if P then Q, tapos and if Q then R, then we can conclude that P, if P then R. Okay? So example. For example lang ato ang P is if a man is a bachelor, okay? And then ang ato ang Q is he is unhappy. So if a man is a bachelor, then he is unhappy. Kini. This one, if a man is unhappy, ang atong R is he dies young. If a man is unhappy, then he dies young. So kung tanaw na to, these statements represent this symbols, no? This one formally. Thus we can conclude again na P then R. So sa ato pa P then R, sa atong P, he is a bachelor and he dies young. So sa ato pa, ang atong conclusion ni is that bachelors die young. Or if he is a bachelor, then he dies young. So, which is true, di ba? Kay mo man nga to ang unang mga arguments. We say that if a man is a bachelor, kung basahon lang nato ha, he is unhappy. So, if a man is unhappy, then he dies young. So, sa ato pa, ang tanan bachelor lugar, kay since unhappy man sila, matay sila sayo. Bachelors die young. Okay, so this argument is called the law of syllogism, and you should always keep that in mind. Okay? Okay. Now, let's proceed to the next example, which will be on the next lecture video because we are running out of time. So, see you.